All right. First things first, we're going to talk about samples. And I did have a question about samples. I was asked if I send sample packs to new customers. So, number one, I send a sample pack to everyone who orders with me. So, I'm not just handing out things all the time. Now, if I'm handing out samples to someone or I'm giving samples to someone who has not bought from me before, I'm very intentional with how I do it. So this is important. You need to make sure that you have your contact info on every single thing that leaves your hands. Every single sample, every single catalog, product list, whatever it is that's leaving your hands, your contact info needs to be on it. Even more important than that, you need to know what samples you gave to who, and you need contact info for that person, because I'm telling you, I don't know the statistics. I don't know if there are any statistics, but I would say 95% of people you give a random sample to is not going to remember to get back with you on it. They're not going to remember to send you their, what their opinion on it was. They're not going to remember to get on your website, or they're going to throw the sample away, or they're going to lose the business card you gave them, and they're not going to have a clue how to get on your website and order those things. So as consultants, it is our job to follow up with everyone, whether it is a sample you gave out, whether it is a customer follow-up, that somebody that already ordered from you. That is our job. So if you're not doing that, you're not doing your job. So for me, when I give out samples to someone, I track it in my Amy app. So I will literally go into my Amy app. If you don't have Amy, it is a godsend, and even if you don't use it for follow-ups, it's so good for so many things. I go into my contacts in Amy, and I will add the person if they're a new contact, or I will go into their contact if they're not a new contact and say it's this customer right here. I will go into Amy, I will go to her profile, and I will click that little, oh Lord, everything's backwards. Click the little plus sign. Lord help me. And then I'll click on record a sample. So I'll go to record a sample. I will add everything to this that I sampled out to them, and then I will save it. So let's say I sampled out Johnny Appleseed All-Purpose Cleaner Concentrate. So I will add that. Then you can put the date that you gave them the sample, and then you can confirm. And you can save. So, sorry, with Amy, it will notify you when it's time to follow up on that sample. So then you can text that person, Facebook message them, Instagram, whatever the preferred method of communication is, ask them how they liked it, and see if you can get them a full size. So that is a great booking opportunity as well. Great Scentsy Club opportunity. So anytime I'm giving samples out to somebody, I'm following up on it, and I'm trying to turn that into a party or a Scentsy Club subscriber or anything that I can turn it into that's bigger than just an order. So, samples. I'm going to show y'all some examples of the way I do samples. Something very important. So, as you can see right here, this is my sample cart. So, I have all of my samples in it. They're labeled by drawer, so I can quickly pull out things when I need them. They're organized. I know where they're at. And then I have some sample supplies in the bottom too. The rest of my sample supplies are right over here next to me in these bins. These are actually from Dollar General, and I love these. They're the perfect size for like your sample bottles, your sample bags. Everything I have for samples fits in these. So I have these categorized. You can also find these same ones at Publix, which is really random, but those are the two places that I found these specific ones. So I've got spray bottles. Label Maker is my best friend. I've got all of my wax bags. I have Scentsy sugar scrub jars and what else is in here? Sponges. So sponges for dish soap, which I'm out of. And see, that's a quick way to do your inventory too, because if you have a clear container for all of your sample supplies, I don't even have to open this to know that I'm out of dish soap sponges. And I can just say, okay, I need to go to my inventory list, click on dish soap sponges, check mark that I need to order it, and then I can order it quickly. I have my medium-sized Mylar bags. And those just look like this. Kind of pricey, so if you're a new consultant, I don't advise buying these. Then I have, I do have dish sponges. They're in the wrong box. I bet my assistant did that. I love her. Let's see here. Okay, throw those in there. I have my soak and whiff boxes. I don't know why I can't talk this morning, but I have my soak and whiff bags in this one. These are Mylar bags as well, but I got black this time because it's more fall, Halloweenish. So, soak and whiff bags. And then I have these other bags that I use sometimes. These are actually cookie bags. So these are something that I started with. So I would do like just the little wax bags from Walmart in the jewelry section. Just these little bitty bags. These are what I recommend. Now I get them in bulk from Amazon. But if you're on a budget, I have a separate video on working Scentsy on a budget, so that will be helpful too. But these are you can get these just from Walmart for really cheap. But also these little cookie bags, I started using these from Amazon before it was like my step up from these, and then I stepped up to the Mylar bags. So as your budget grows, as your business grows, you'll be able to invest in cooler things. But keep it simple if you're a new consultant, and watch my video on working Scentsy on a budget if you haven't watched that already. So those are, I have those sample supplies right here where I can quickly get to them. And then I also have, see, everything is within grabbing distance. This is the key, okay? If you want to be able to quickly get things done, have everything in grabbing distance. I also have an executive desk, so I have tons of drawers that I can store things in that I might need to immediately get into. But when I had a smaller desk, I just had those plastic pull-out drawers and had everything in those. I have a cart right here next to my desk on this side that has my customer mail outs. So I do these in bulk for the month and I can grab them quickly. All of my shipping envelopes, everything, and then on the bottom is my bag parties and product lists. And then on my desk I have like all of my catalogs, things I need to grab quickly. So thank you cards, catalogs, product lists, join info, all that. Everything is within quick grabbing distance. But I have sample bottles under here as well, so this is just the only place I had to stick them. So like when I'm sampling room spray, when I'm sampling fragrance mist, Scentsy Fresh, soap, all of my liquids, I have my bottles under there for that. Then my sample cart. So I have my scent circles in this also, which I'm extremely low on. I have my scent circles and oil samples. I have laundry samples, cleaning samples, more cleaning samples, and these are very handy to separate your samples if you have drawers like this. These are from, I don't know where these are from. Dollar Tree, Walmart, I don't know. And then body, so I have like hand creams, lotion, stuff like that, and then I have soaps in the front. And then I have room sprays and pet, like Freshen Up Pup. Down here I have my supplies that are like leftover supplies. So I have oil bottles, I have extra spray bottles, I have my heat sealer, and I have my pipe cutter that I use for room sprays. I have my chocolate melter that I make my wax samples with. I have my crinkle cutter, and I have my cloths that I use for counter clean and bathroom cleaner samples. So, gonna go over how I make each sample. So, also let me go back to the question about sending out samples to like random customers, new customers. If you have someone who approaches you and asks for samples, I don't have that happen very often at all. Like, I hardly ever send out samples to just random people. But if you do have someone contact you and ask you for samples, try to turn it into a bag party. Try to turn it into something productive. So if you can send them samples, catalogs, order forms, and testers, and they can get some orders, get them some free product, but also bring you some new customers, that's so much more effective than just sending them some samples. So, I forgot to mention that. All right, so oil samples. First thing I do. What I do for oil samples is I use these felts, the same felts that I use for wax samples. So, oh, that reminds me. I do have my wax samples down here. In one of these little drawer containers. So I have, I put LTOs, like Looney Tunes, and I've used up all my samples this month already. Scent of the month sample, and then I have just like my seasonal samples. So I have Jack Succession, I have Halloween Town, Eucalyptus Wreath that I'm saving for closer to like November probably. So that's how I keep my wax samples separated. I'll do those first so that I can show y'all like my felts. So you can get felt shapes like this from Etsy. I use Pear Creek Cottage and 418 Dreams. But you can also just get like circle felts from Amazon. And those, so if you go to the link that is in my bio, either on Facebook or on Instagram, there's a link tree. Click on that and you'll see my Instagram, or you'll see my my business supplies that I love, that I get from Amazon. I have a whole list for it. So you can go on there and click on that and you'll see everything I use from Amazon. Pretty much everything's from Amazon. So, but I get circles, felt circles, and I cut them in half because you get a way better value and your customer can still smell just as good with half a circle. So I cut these in half. It ends up being like 200 of them for, I don't know, it's cheap. I can't remember the price, but it's a really good deal when you do it that way. It makes them go a lot longer. So with felt samples, with wax, you just melt the wax down in your chocolate melter or your warmer. You stick the felt in there, let it absorb the melted wax, put it on aluminum foil or wax paper to harden, and then stick it in your bag and label it. That's it. It's super simple. I use the same felts for oils. So I will just lay these felts out. I will drop like 2 drops of oil. You don't even need 2 necessarily. But I do like 2 drops of oil on each one, stick it in the bag and label it. I do put a QR code on all of my samples because I want them to be able to scan that to go straight to my website. This goes in here. Laundry samples, super simple. You can use these Mylar bags or you can use just the regular Ziploc bags that are a lot more affordable. And I label them with a QR code. Put a picture of what the product is, put the name of the product and the scent, and simple. Labels, so I print all of my labels with Avery.com. I print them at home. You can get Avery labels, but they're way better deal if you go on Amazon and get the labels that I have on my list. So you can get Mako labels, M-A-C-O, that work with Avery labels, and or work with Avery label templates. They're way more affordable and they print exact with the templates. So just a little tip, much more affordable. So washer whiffs, I do 1 scoop, only 1 scoop. They're getting a sample, so keep it sample size. Now, if it's like Scentsy Club customers and I'm giving them more of like an exclusive sample, I may do 2 scoops. But, or if it's like a scent that's not as strong as certain other scents, I may do 2, but I typically do 1. I like to do the laundry liquid and scent soft samples. I just get those from the consultant store. Cleaning samples. So my favorite way to do cleaning samples is these cleaning cloths from Amazon. I cut them into 4 pieces, so these go a long way. I cut them into 4s. I fold it up, stick it in here, and I spray my bathroom cleaner or my counter clean directly into the bag onto the cloth. I do like 4 sprays, that's it. And then I put on here what they need to do with it. I tell them, wet the cleaning cloth and clean your dirty countertops, a dirty pair of shoes, or something gunky. That's counter clean. Same way with bathroom cleaner. This is the most like cheap to mail, thin, lightweight way that I've found to do counter clean and bathroom cleaner samples. You can also put them in bottles, but I only use bottles for Scentsy Fresh personally. Just because they're way easier to ship that way, and I ship a lot. Most of my customers are not local, so I have to get creative. Also, with wax samples, so I do felt samples because of the heat. They will actually reabsorb the wax if it melts, and they're easy to mail. They're very thin. You can mail them with just a regular 1-ounce stamp, but you can also use a crinkle cutter. This one's like really big, but you can also get smaller ones. But you just take your bar and lay it down and just cut, and it will cut 20, I think, or maybe more samples. And these are really easy to cut. I wouldn't advise mailing them. I would do felt samples if you're mailing a lot because it's way cheaper to mail, very thin. But if you're doing a lot of local samples, you can do these and it will give them a little bit more wax to try. But for me, felt samples are just fine. Scentsy Fresh. Here's how I do Scentsy Fresh. So I have these 5 milliliter bottles. Again, these are on my supplies list. I fill them just about to the top, and I use one of these. I use one of these bottles from Amazon again to put I dump my Scentsy Fresh in here and I squirt it into here, and it's so easy. And then I just wrap my 2x4 labels around it. Same way with fragrance mist. I do it with fragrance mist the exact same way. Room spray as well. With room sprays, you need one of these pipe cutters. Again, you can get it on Amazon. What you do is you take it on the neck of your room spray and you close it until it cuts the neck off of your room spray, and then you can pour your room spray out, pour it into one of those little bottles, or use a pipette, whatever you want to do, and put it into your sample bottle. Super easy. Heat sealer, you can use a straightener, but I got this specifically for sealing my bags. So anything that is liquid, I will heat seal it. That's why I use these Mylar bags for those. I'll heat seal it with this. This is from Amazon too, very cheap. Let's see. Scentsy Soak, you can use regular Ziploc bags for these. I use Mylar bags. I use one of these, so this is like one of those condiment things. I actually cut the tip off until it's pretty wide, and I put my soak in here, and then that way I can just squirt the soak right into the bag, and it makes it so much quicker. Hand cream, I just use smaller bags, but you can buy hand cream and like body wash, body cream from the consultant store. The only time I make these myself is if I have a scent that you can't get from the consultant store. So like I wanted to do some Cloudberry Dreams, so I made these, but these are perfectly fine. Just buy these from the Scentsy consultant store, and they're very cheap to mail. They're very thin, they're very light. Brittany said she can get 40 samples per bar with a crinkle cutter. So yeah, I couldn't remember. Yeah, you get a lot. Room spray, again, just like the other sprays. Cut your top off with the pipe cutter. Use a pipette or one of those bottles and squirt it into your bottle. Remember, you don't want to give too much. Like, you don't want to get like the big bottles that are like really wide and like 10 milliliters. You want to do like 3 to 5 milliliters. You only want to give a sample size. That way they want to buy the big size. So it gives them just enough to try. And then same with my Freshen Up Pup. I do them the same way. Same bottles, same 2x4 labels, and just squirt it into that. And that's it. Is there any other sample that I don't currently have made that y'all have questions about? I feel like I have pretty much everything made right now. Who's calling me? Okay. Let's talk mail. Shipping. Basics for mail and shipping. All right. First of all, you can ship most things from home, even if you're not using stamps.com or whatever. You can pretty much ship most things from home and you don't have to go to the post office. So things are a lot more convenient nowadays than they were when I first started this business. You need a postage scale. These are like $10 from Amazon if you're going to be shipping things from home. Whether you're sending out customer thank yous or mystery bags or things for your team or things for your hosts or bag parties that you may be shipping out. There's a lot of things that you may be shipping out, especially if you're like me and most of your customers are not local. So grab you a cheap shipping scale from Amazon. Woo, I almost just spilled that wax out of that warmer. That was close. All right, for return address labels, I use Vistaprint, but they're not the cheapest. It's cheaper to, I'm pretty sure it's cheaper. I don't really see how it wouldn't be, to print your own address labels at home. I actually had to do this because I ran out of my Vistaprint ones and I'm waiting on more. But I just use the Avery 5160 labels when I need to print return address labels. And it's super easy and cheap. You can also get a return address stamp, which makes things very fast. You can go through and just stamp, stamp, stamp. Envelopes, I use clear mailers. So I will either use, these are 4x6-ish, like 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Again, all of these supplies, they're on my Amazon list. But I use these for like team mail, postcards, things like that. Then I have 5x7 that I use for a little bit bigger mail, like for my customer thank yous. And I also have 6x9. So I love the clear ones because y'all know I love glitter. Y'all know I love confetti. I put all the glitter and confetti in these, and I think it's just so pretty when people get these things in the mail. So they get, you know, all the sparkly, they can see all the little sparkly leaves in there. But you do have to be careful with shipping these because sometimes the post office will give you crap. So you have to make sure you're shipping them correctly. You can also do just regular envelopes. I would advise doing just like paper envelopes, not necessarily something like a craft envelope because these are thicker, they're heavier. That's one reason I like the clear ones is because they're very, very lightweight. So it makes things easier, makes things cheaper to ship. There's the basics of that. Let me check and make sure I haven't missed any other questions. Okay. All right. Have my glitter drawer locked because of my child. Let's see, I don't think there's anything in there I need to talk about. So the Mako labels that I get from Amazon look like this. So you get a lot. You get, like, these come with 3,000 labels and they're very affordable compared to the Avery. Just make sure that they work with Avery. Some labels I do buy Avery, like the 2.5 inch round, because I haven't found one that works with that template. I also have 1.5 inch round. Also, for shipping, I buy these shipping labels. I just have a regular printer. I don't have a shipping printer like a Dymo or anything like that. I buy these shipping labels from Amazon. They're very affordable. They last me forever, and I ship a lot, but they last a while because you get a lot in there. Let's see. Okay, there's that. Let's see. So the best site to use for shipping is going to be Pirate Ship. Pirate Ship, like a pirate ship. That's going to be the easiest because it's free. You can send pretty much anything except for something that is like you're going to be stamping. So any kind of package. So basically anything that's like 3/4 of an inch thick or more. But everything else you're going to want to just use stamps. Now, I personally use stamps.com, but it's not something I recommend doing until you have more room in your budget and it makes more sense to have the convenience and whatnot. So you can get your stamps from obviously the post office. You can get them at like Walmart and Target if you're going there, and you can pick some up. I think you can order them on USPS.com, which is what I used to do. So there's also non-machinable stamps, so you need those when it's thicker. I would advise just Googling the rules for postage and mailing things so that you know exactly how to send it to make sure that they're not returning it for postage needed or whatever. But with Pirate Ship, it will tell you I'm pretty sure it tells you the requirements of like what exactly you can ship, how to ship it, and all that. So again, it's free, and you can have it notify your customers when you send them a package. So it will send them the tracking automatically. You don't have to do it, which is great and very professional. It has a lot of really good features. Like, it still blows my mind that it's free. So I highly recommend Pirate Ship. Let's see. So these kind of mail, anything that is like anything that's like 1/4 inch thick or less. So I can even put like a counter clean sample in here, or I can put some felt samples, and as long as it's 1/4 inch or less and under a certain weight, you can send it with regular stamps. You just have to make sure you have enough postage on there. Poly mailers. Love poly mailers a lot. I use these a lot. You can, these are 8x11, I think, or something like that. They're, again, all this stuff is on my Amazon list. But poly mailers are like this material. They're not a bubble mailer, so they can keep your product really thin. But if you need something protective, you'll want a bubble mailer. So something like this that has bubbles, has like bubble wrap inside. So there's other places that you can get these mailers from. If y'all have any places that you prefer, put it in the comments. But I just get everything on Amazon because I need convenience and I need it fast. So poly mailers, though, you can ship these. You know, like if you want to ship something big, you can. Or if you ship something that's like half the size of this, you can just fold it over, and then you have this size, like a 6x9. So that's the 2 or the 3, I guess, types of different mailers I use personally. Trying to think. What questions do y'all have about mail and shipping? Yeah, so Brandy said she did clear mailers and she had candy in there. She had Lifesavers. And it was going to cost her about $3. That's because of the thickness. So when you go over 3/4, you're going to pay a package price, or a flat, I think is what they call it. No, maybe not, but package price. I don't know. I haven't gone to the post office in years, so I ship everything from home. Also, with Pirate Ship, you can schedule pickups directly. So like for me, I send out 25 to 30 Scentsy Club mailers every month. So those are packages. I send those out as packages, and I'm not going to the post office to drop all those off, and they don't all fit in my mailbox. You can send out anything that will fit in your mailbox, any kind of package, anything like that will fit in your mailbox. Just put it in your mailbox with the flag up and they'll pick it up. But if you have something that won't fit in your mailbox, like for me, those 25, 30 Scentsy Club mail outs that I send out every month, I put them in a basket, set them on my front porch, and I schedule a pickup directly through Pirate Ship, or you can schedule a pickup directly through USPS. Something else that I just now thought about, because I don't have these supplies in here, they're in my closet, but if you are if you're sending out like bag parties, or if you're doing like mystery boxes or mystery bags or something like that, and you need to know what like a flat rate to charge people for shipping, it's easiest to get the flat rate envelopes or boxes from USPS.com. The boxes and envelopes themselves are free. You don't have to pay for that. You just go on USPS, get as many as you need. They'll ship them to you, or you can pick them up at your local post office, but a lot of post offices won't have certain ones. So you can go on there, get whatever you need, and it will be a flat rate as long as you can fit what you're shipping in that envelope or box. It will be a flat rate no matter where it's going to. So that's a really easy way to know, like, okay, I'm sending out mystery bags. I need to know how much to charge my customers. Here's how much it costs to ship a flat rate envelope according to Pirate Ship. You also get discounts shipping through Pirate Ship. So not only is it free, but they give you discounts. So you're going to pay way less than if you go to the post office. So you can look at that and say, okay, it costs $8 to ship a padded flat rate envelope, and I can fit all of these boxes in one of those. I can fit each person's box in one of these envelopes. Okay, so I'm going to charge them $8 flat for shipping, and that completely covers the cost. So flat rate, padded flat rate envelopes are one of my favorite things to use. I also love regional A and regional B boxes from USPS. The cost of those varies. So with a flat rate box, you can put anything in it, or a flat rate envelope, and it is a flat rate to mail, no matter how much it weighs, as long as it fits in there. Now with regional A and regional B boxes, they can fit a lot of things in them. I love those, but the shipping rate is going to vary depending on the region. That's why they're called regional boxes. Yay, Brittany, our Nashville Wraps stuff is here. So those are the things that I use for actual like shipping, like packages, like big packages. I'm trying to think. What else? I don't want to leave off anything. Any questions that are popping in y'all's heads? Shipping, envelopes, stamps, shipping labels, postage scale, customer mailouts. So I send thank you mail to all of my customers, all of my online orders. Well, all orders, but if you want to send mail to your online orders or whoever, I definitely don't do local, because I put all of their goodies in their bag when it comes to me, and I give it to them. But at minimum, my customers get a thank you card, and these I make these on Canva, and I print them on Vistaprint. But if you're on a budget, and I went over this in my budgeting video, I'm pretty sure, go to the Dollar Tree, get a thank you card, handwrite, thank you for your order, blah, blah, blah. Stick it in with join info, party info, Scentsy Club info, warmer of the month brochure, and a felt sample of the scent of the month. That's all you need to put in there. And it's going to cost you like a stamp. So once your business starts to grow more and your budget starts to grow more and it starts to make more sense, you can start adding in more samples and doing more for your customers. But really all that matters is that they feel valued and that it feels personal and that you're getting something for them to sniff under their nose. That's all that really matters. All I did as a newer consultant, like my first couple of years, was send what I just said. I sent a scent of the month felt sample, a warmer of the month flyer, join party club info, and well, I didn't even send out club info because we didn't even have club back then. and a thank you card, and that's it. So if you're doing mail, keep it very simple, keep it cheap, and over the years, as your business grows, as your budget grows, you can do more and more. With Scentsy Club mail outs, I posted those yesterday. I do samples, and usually I do like a more exclusive type sample for my Scentsy Club subscribers. Those are your loyal customers. Like, they are your ride or dies. They are paying you money and committed to doing that every single 1, 2, or 3 months. And it is very important to treat them like gold. I mean, you need to treat all of your customers like gold, but Scentsy Club needs to be even more special. You need to make them want to stay in the club. So I do a different theme each month. Again, I posted a picture of this yesterday. You'll have to go back and look at it because I don't have any of my stuff with me anymore. But I do a themed postcard. I even try to make the mailer themed to like the season or the holiday or whatever it is. I do, if there's any new like club perks, so like right now there's the new bricks. I'm still sending out those postcards telling them what new bricks are available for Scentsy Club. I'll do that. I'll do any like promotions that need to be advertised. I'll try to do LTO wax. So like this month I did Jack's Obsession. Look at the little ghosts. I love those. And Halloween Town. So I did those two. I did like a fall theme. Next month I'm going to do more of a Halloween theme. And I would have put these in next month, but you have to be intentional with what you're sampling and when you're sending it. So I know that these are only available for a certain amount of time. So by September 30th, they have to add it to club if it sells out before then. So that's why I went ahead and got these out and didn't wait. That's another thing when it comes to samples. You need to sample intentionally. You need to prepare ahead of time. You need to bulk sample. You need to do all of your samples for at least 1 month at a time. You can even do enough for 2 or 3 months. With LTOs, so like Looney Tunes, Jack's Obsession, Halloween Town, like any of those type of LTO scents, I typically only do like 30 samples of those. I want to make sure that I'm actually going to get the samples out that I'm sampling. I don't want to be left with a million samples at the end of the season that I didn't even give to anyone or send out to my customers. So make sure you're not sampling more than you're actually going to give out. Be intentional with that. Be intentional with what you're sampling. And what I like to do is sample out scents that are either new or limited time so that I can get them in Scentsy Club when I'm following up with them on that sample, or something that's available in a lot of products. So like Cloudberry Dreams, I sample that out, and then if they love the scent, you can say, okay, this is available in laundry, it's available in cleaning, it's available in body, it's available in everything. So that can help you make a lot more sales of more products and maybe introduce them to some new products as well. Oh, so to finish out what I do for Scentsy Club, I send all those things. So I'm sending them join info, I'm sending them club perks, I'm sending them maybe like if I want to do a booking incentive or something like that, I'll put that in there. Any LTOs, just anything that they need to know about. And then I'll do samples. So this month I did washer whiffs, and I did the Halloween Town and the Jack's Obsession wax. So usually I'll do 2 or 3 samples. I will do an extra. So this month I did the little Halloween drink pouches that I found at Target Dollar Spot for freaking 50 cents a piece. Like, the cutest and so cheap. So I did one of those, and I did an apple cider packet. So I'll do like a snack or a food or a drink or something like that, and I'll do an extra, and then I'll do the samples and all the other info, and then the cute little themed postcard. That's what I do. Just do what works for your budget, but make your Scentsy Club people and all of your customers feel special. Also, when I'm sending mail out, I am posting it in my stories. I'm posting pictures of it. I'm making a reel about it. Like, I want people to see what I'm sending out to my customers so that they it creates FOMO, and they want to be a part of it too. They want all the things. If I'm doing team mail, I'm posting about it. Like, I want people to want what I am putting out there. So if you're not showing your customers and your potential customers and your Facebook and Instagram friends, if you're not showing them what you're doing behind the scenes, they have no idea. They don't know what they're missing out on. So that's very important. All right, y'all. Well, I hope that this gave y'all lots and lots and lots of info, lots of tips, lots of tangible things that you can take and implement into your business. Let me know if y'all have any additional questions, and I will answer them in the comments later on. But I hope y'all have a great rest of your Tuesday. Let's go do our follow-ups, book some parties, whatever y'all need to do. Hold on, we have another question. How do you keep up with who gets samples and for how many months? So I used to do a system where I would send out a sample for 3 months after somebody ordered. And on the 3rd month, I would send them a card with their mail that said, hey, this is your last month to be in the sample club. Make sure you place an order to continue getting samples. That did not maintain for me. It did not work for me. It works for a lot of people though. So if that's something you want to try, you can do that. But I couldn't maintain it, and it wasn't producing a profit for me. Like, it wasn't effective. So I now send out, like I said, I send out samples every time somebody places an online order. They get something from me every single time they place an order. I don't care if they place 2 orders a month. They get something every single time. Because if they're taking the time to go on my website and place an order, the least I feel like I can do is spoil them with some samples. Sorry, there's a fly. But you can do an Excel spreadsheet tracker. You can do a paper tracker. I did that for a while until I couldn't maintain it anymore. There's actually a system in our group Google Drive for sample tracking. So if you want to use that digitally, or if you want to print it out and use it on paper, or you can use Amy. So whatever works for you to track your samples. I personally, I don't track my samples anymore as far as just like my regular mail outs, but I do track if I'm sending random samples to someone, or if I'm sending like Scentsy Club samples. That way I can follow it. I know what I'm sending out for my mail outs every month. So I know what people are getting, so I'm not having to necessarily track it. But if you're sending different samples to everybody and, it's all over the place, you need to track it for sure, so that you can follow up and say, hey, how did you like this sample, and be intentional about it. So whatever kind of tracking works for you, do it. If you're a digital person, do digital. If you're a paper person, do paper. If you can maintain it, use Amy if you want to, whatever is the easiest. All right, well, I'm going to get off here. I appreciate y'all. I hope that y'all learned something today. Make sure you drop in the comments what was your favorite thing about this training, and I'm going to upload this to YouTube so that it will be there for the future. But y'all have a great rest of your Tuesday.